watch Emo. He's going from one mirror to the other, trying to figure out where Mario is and where he's going to try a pass on him, because he knows, he can feel that Mario's there all the time.
Mario's morale is just plain high. Ever since Michael got back into IndyCar racing, it's just a father and son situation. He's just happy to have his son racing with him.
Looks like Scott Goodyear lost it just in that last corner. Yep, there he is, against the wall. Maybe not against the wall, but back right up to it.
In the runoff area for sure. That's where it's a little bit slippery right in there. No cars have really been running to dry it out.
Here is Scott Goodyear as he got in trouble just a few seconds ago. He's chasing Johansson.
Come down low to pass. That's where there's no cars running. It's slippery. Here he goes. Look at the right front tire locked up, just sliding in just like he's on ice.
You know what? That's where Mansell just went off.
Absolutely.
It must be very tricky there.
Must be very unpredictable all around this course, but especially there.
What they're trying to do is to pass on the inside. That's the good place to pass out break guys. Unfortunately, nobody's been racing down there.
Well, when Michael Andretti comes around to pass the start-finish line this time, he will conclude half the distance of the race. So it's an official race when Michael comes across the line this time. Should it be flagged for any reason, it will go into the record books as a completed run. And Michael has clear sailing ahead.
He obviously has put behind him thoughts that he might have any suspension weaknesses in the car because of that contact with the barriers there. He contacted only a collection of soft tires.
Look how fast he's getting through the acid. You'd think he'd be worrying a little bit about the damn track. But he's not. He's full on it.
He described this Renard as a tank. He obviously relies on its strength.
You know, EDS supplies the scoring system for IndyCar as well as in the booth as we take a look at Scott Goodyear's spin once again. And I'll tell you what, in a race as confusing as this, without the EDS system, I don't think we could keep track of it at all.
Oh, we really could. It's been up and down. This was just another replay of Goodyear going off into his deal there in this little runoff area. Here he comes back out on the track now.
So back watching Emerson Fittipaldi, who sits in second, but Mario Andretti continues. It's a confusing time at that as Mario Andretti continues his pursuit of Emerson Fittipaldi. He's fallen back just a little bit. Michael Andretti continues the lead, and it is now an official race. We have gone past the halfway point.
From the high cam view there, you can see how there's still wet spots around the track. It's getting dry in the groove or real drive there, but it's a little bit wet in spots yet.
People thought that perhaps Mansell, who seized the pole with such ease, was positioning himself to run away with the championship. This is a very exciting development. Mansell in trouble. New people to the top of the point scoring chart, running really well.
Nigel Mansell is back in 13th place and not on the same lap with the leader. We'll give you the running order again. Michael Andretti up. Two more cars in trouble. One of them Adrian Fernandez. The other, that 24 car, is Willie T. Ribbs. So all three cars out of Derek Walker's stable have been involved in contact today now. Robbie Gordon, Willie T. Ribbs, and Mark Smith.
That's Willie there in the red and white car. Fernandez in the car with some green on it.
Fernandez kind of got captured there. When Willie spun, you can see him waving his hands there. When he spun, there really wasn't any place for Fernandez to go. It wasn't his fault in this particular case.
Unfortunately, they got together at the tires, so there shouldn't be any serious damage to those cars. Let's look it over carefully, though. Willie climbed out of his.
Willie conceded that he was learning the track here. This is his first time here, taking it carefully, but he obviously got caught out by it there.
Now, Fernandez looks like he's okay as he comes back up to speed and only creates a local yellow. Now back with the leader who begins to overhaul some slower traffic.
Michael is able to pull away fractionally from Emerson, who's pursuing him just under 2 seconds back. In turn, Emerson is able to pull away from Mario.
Adrian saw Michael coming and moved right over and got out of the way for him. There comes Emo right by. Emo gained a little bit on that.
See, that shows how Adrian is cool, right, Bobby? Because, in other words, he's just been in an incident, but he isn't so ruffled that he doesn't check his mirrors as he's getting back to speed.
Yes, and Sam, you know, his day hasn't been the best as far as luck goes, but he's really done quite a good job today. Of course, I think he shines on this type of track.
He shines on the ovals, too.
continues at the front as Mario tries to catch Emo, and everybody tries to catch this man, Michael Andretti.
Michael is using an awful lot of the curves. He's really up over it. In fact, his tire is going to, if he goes any further, he's going to start taking the cones with him.
Well, I'll tell you, if this car lasts the distance, it is proof that this new Reynard car is bulletproof because it's taken a lot of pounding.
What a wonderful circumstance that would be for Adrian Renard and the whole group if they could have a win very first time out of the box.
Well, you know, they have a long record of that. Each kind of racing that they have gotten into through the years, they have, by luck or merit or what a combination, won the first time out. So this is an incredible question of history possibly in the making.
But just so that people know also, Bruce Ashmore, the guy that did the Lolas for many years, is the guy that did the Adrian car. He left Lola and went with Renard. And so that has to help an awful lot, Tim.
Center of focus is now on second place as Mario Andretti is back on the attack.
Emerson Fittipaldi, 47 years old, so two veterans. Both these men have won both Indianapolis and the World Championship.
At the start of the show, we called them the seniors.
I like that.
They were out of earshot when we did that.
I like that part.
You called them the seniors. I'm
no, I think it was your idea.
Right in between their ages, and I'm not sure I buy that.
Another thing to keep in mind when we watch Michael go through the chicanes, you see right there, he was very high close to the cones. I think that Wally Dallenbach has probably told them that they're susceptible to a stop-and-go penalty if they hit the cones.
Another car being reported out of the race now, Davy Jones, driving for A.J. Foyt. Let's give you the rundown again. Michael Andretti leads, followed by Emerson Fittipaldi, then Mario Andretti, then Jim Vassar, then Stefan Johansson in 6th place, Jacques Villeneuve, then Teo Fabi, Mike Croft, Mauricio Gugelmin, Scott Goodyear is 10th. As Adrian Fernandez has trouble again and almost collects Jim Vassar. Look at this.
I think that Adrian has been in the chicane problem so many times now, he just drives right straight across and keeps going.
We'll continue with the 6th place is Jacques Villeneuve. 7th is Teo Fabi, followed by Mike Croft, Mauricio Gugelmin, Scott Goodyear. Nigel Mansell is 11th off of the lead lap. He is the first one who is not on the leader lap. And 12th is Scott Sharp. Adrian Fernandez is 13th. Paul Tracy 14th. Dominic Dobson 15th. Prior to his incident, Willie T. Ribbs was 16th, followed by Allitzer Jr., and then Davy Jones, who has retired from competition. And Jacques Villeneuve gets in trouble alongside of Stefan Johansson.
That was the deal where they got the tires all locked up between each other, and sometimes they do that, and it looks like that they have a magnet holding them together. Just keep pulling the cars together and then apart, together and apart. Now, Jacques is the one that lost that war, but it looked like for a while that both of them were going to end up in there.
Well, this is going to be a very expensive trip for a number of teams. Seen probably more damage in this one race than in almost the entire season last year.
Yes, more incidents I think we've seen in a long time, Paul.
So we're having another look at the Jacques Villeneuve incident. He is the son, he's Canadian by birth. He is the son of Gilles Villeneuve, the great Canadian driver who went to Formula One and was killed tragically in a practice accident.
Jacques just didn't have enough room right there. He was being squeezed into the wall a little bit too much.
And Adrian Fernandez now has a tire totally off the right rear, and he has to limp around to the pits. His day has gone from great to terrible.
How quickly?
I'll bet right now he thinks it's from bad to terrible. You know, when you bring him in on a flat tire like that, it doesn't do him any good.
Let's see what happened here. Johansson was just going on straight, it seemed, at that point.
Well, Johansson was just squeezed a little bit too much there. He didn't give his partner enough racing room right there, Paul. That's too close. You can't go that fast. You're probably running 180 miles an hour right there, and that's just not enough room to give a guy.
It reminds me of bumper cars.
Finally making his way back into the pits is Adrian Fernandez. He was in 15th prior to coming in. So Mario Andretti is trying to catch Emerson Fittipaldi, and Michael Andretti has led from the battle on the course. It's a fight for second between a very racy Mario Andretti trying to catch Emerson Fittipaldi.